If you thought that the new leader of the Suicide Squad, Bloodsport, was shockingly similar to the last leader, Deadshot, there's a good reason for that. Apparently, the original plan was for Idris Elba to replace Will Smith as Floyd Lawton for the sequel. Eventually, it was decided that Elba would play a different DC character in case Smith ever wanted to come back. In the comics, Robert Dubois was a draft dodger who went on to become the mercenary supervillain Bloodsport. Just like his movie counterpart, Bloodsport was hired to take down Superman. He managed to shoot down the Kryptonian with a kryptonite needle while rampaging across the streets of Metropolis. Okay, now it's verdict time. Chances that he'll be alive by the movie's end? 100%. I think it's safe to say that John Cena's going to steal every single scene he's in as Peacemaker. I mean, he's so good that James Gunn decided to make him his own television series. So who is this Captain America wannabe with a toilet seat for a mask? In the comics, Christopher Smith was a pacifist diplomat who decided that the only way to achieve peace was through force as a superhero. Clearly, Smith did not understand what the word pacifist means. Eventually, he lost it and started becoming an increasingly violent vigilante who thought the ghosts of his victims inhabited his helmet. Chances he'll survive? Oof. 90%. It's kinda wild how much screen time King Shark is getting nowadays. After The Flash brought him to light with surprisingly good CGI for a CW budget, he then appeared as a scene-stealing regular on Harley Quinn as the neurotic member of her crew. The weirdest King Shark we've gotten so far is the one from Justice League Dark, Apocalypse War, who pretty much only said the words, "King Shark is a shark," like Groot style.
King Shark is a shark.
He also apparently had a physical relationship with John Constantine,
Gross.
which is a piece of knowledge that I cannot scrub from my brain no matter how much I want to. We'll see if Gunn can make the most memorable King Shark yet when he gets the one and only Sylvester Stallone to voice him. Chances he'll live? 85%. While Batman is primarily known today for his more grounded, terrifying villains like Joker, Two-Face, and Bane, he also has a ton of ridiculous villains that even the Adam West Batman would think was silly. One of those is the colorful cretin known as Polka Dot Man. His polka-dotted suit contained several polka-dot-themed weapons he would use to terrorize the Caped Crusader.
I hope so.
Chances that he'll live? I'm gonna go 25%. Ratcatcher 2 is actually a new character that Gunn has brought into the franchise. The original Ratcatcher was a Batman villain named Otis Flanagan who could control rats and make them do crimes for him. What's interesting is that she's known specifically as Ratcatcher 2, meaning that the Flanagan version is likely out there. Does she have a dark past with the first Ratcatcher the film will reveal? Chances she'll live? 50-50. In the comics, Savant was a rich brat who decided that becoming a costumed vigilante would be fun before he gave that up to become a blackmailer instead. Savant, like his namesake would suggest, is a genius with one major flaw. He has a non-linear memory that often causes him to forget things. Is it possible that Gunn would play around with this, Memento style? Nah, I doubt he'll survive long enough for it to come up. Chances he'll live? 10%. It might seem kind of random that there's a super strong alien on the squad, but the character is actually a huge deal. You see, there's this famous Superman villain named Mongol who rules over the planet Warlord. Mongal is Mongol's daughter. Could they be setting up the DCEU's next big villain? Chances that she'll survive? 50-50. Some comic book characters require a lot of time and energy to explain their complex backstory. Then there's Weasel. If it looks like Weasel is just a creepy weasel man who likes to eat people, yeah, that's because he is. Jack Monroe might have been a teacher once upon a time, but those days are long behind him now. He'll be played by James Gunn's brother Sean, who is also famous for bringing Rocket Raccoon to life through motion capture. Chances are we'll see Weasel eat or slash the throats of a few people before he is unceremoniously disposed of by the film's end. Chances he'll live? 0%. Pete Davidson is everywhere nowadays. He's still a regular on SNL and has become a big-time movie star thanks to The King of Staten Island. His next stop is the DCEU, where he'll play the villain Blackguard. This bad guy was a foe of the hero from the future, Booster Gold, who used his battlesuit to commit major crimes. The movie's version joins the first team on their mission to Colto Maltese to assassinate a general and destroy a lab called Jotunheim. From the trailers, it looks like Team 1 is the bad team to be on. Chances that he'll live? 10%. Cliff Carmichael was a patient at a mental institution who was put in an experiment to recreate the thinking cap created by the villain, the Thinker, Clifford DeVoe. Flash fans will remember him as the main villain from Season 4. The thinking cap enhanced Carmichael's intelligence and made him into the second Thinker, who would go on to join and then betray the Suicide Squad. The film's Thinker looks like a combination of both villains. He's played by the 12th Doctor himself, Peter Capaldi. Chances he'll live? 0.000%. Javelin is one of those ridiculous villains who could only work in a comic book. He's an Olympic athlete who used his skills as a javelin thrower to become a supervillain. In the comics, he was impaled by his own spear. That seems like just the kind of ending James Gunn would put in his movie. Chances he'll live? 1%. Nathan Fillion and James Gunn love working with each other. Ever since Fillion starred in 2006's Slither, the pair have gone to great lengths to work together again. This time around, James saved the weirdest squad member for his buddy Nathan. TDK is a supervillain who apparently has the ability to detach his extremities at will. There is no character in DC Comics with that name, but there is a character known as Arm Fall-Off Boy with the same power set, huh? Fans think that Gunn replaced the name of Arm Fall-Off Boy with TDK, or possibly the Detachable Kid. Chances he'll be alive? 5%. Starro goes way back to The Brave and the Bold issue 28, where he served as the first major villain to the Justice League of America. Yeah, since then, Starro the Conqueror reproduced asexually into millions of duplicates who attached themselves to people's faces and took them over. So I would be prepared for not only the giant kaiju Starro, but hundreds of baby Starros who take over the bodies of at least a few of the new characters. Is the first Suicide Squad team gonna have to fight the second one? Oh, I hope so. Chances it'll be alive? 0%. Until the post-credit scene shows that there is one Starro still alive out there.
Don't forget, we're the bad guys.